Hey everyone, welcome to the 2019 offseason recap for the Boston Celtics, presented by the Shot Clock. For those of you listening who are Celtics fans, you're in luck because I am a diehard Celtics fan myself, so it's a little bit more in-depth analysis for this one than there are some other videos. So let's jump into it. First transaction of the offseason I've got here. Boston Celtics pull off a sign and trade with the Charlotte Hornets for Kemba Walker, including Terry Rozier in the deal. Just to recap, Kemba Walker coming to Boston on a max contract, 4 years, $141 million. And going to Charlotte is Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, on a 3-year deal of $59 million. This grade, I give it a B+. Kemba is a star in this league. He's not a superstar, but he's an all-star, no doubt about it. This guy's a top 7 point guard, top 5 on some days. New England is going to love him. Boston is going to love this guy. He put on a show at UConn. He had the entire state of Connecticut, I know, because at the time when he made a Big East run, a run in the Big East tournament, he had the entire state watching him and his team take the championship that year. He performs in the big lights. This guy is going to be, he's tailor-made for Boston. He works hard and he plays hard and he's good. So he can handle the criticism on a day-to-day night. Also, the chemistry that Kemba is building with Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Tatum, the Team USA practices and tournament, it's going to pay dividends down the road. Maybe not this season, probably will this season. But if it doesn't, next season, the season after, they've got him for 4 years. There really isn't any downside to him playing with Team USA with 3 of his other teammates who are going to be and are currently NBA rotation guys, if not studs in the league. The cons to this, it's an indirect con, but it means he couldn't keep Kyrie. That's okay. Kyrie's a better player, but he didn't fit the system. Find a positive in everything. You move on from it. It's okay. Kyrie's going to go do Kyrie things in Brooklyn, and we'll see how that turns out. Next transaction for the Celtics, signing Enes Kanter, 2-year, $9.8 million. Second year is a player option. Grade is a C-. He's not going to play any defense on a team that is going to be in the playoffs, and you need defense in the playoffs, and he's your center who usually plays defense, especially when you're in the playoffs, and he's probably going to get benched in the playoffs because he's a center who doesn't play defense. But $5 million a year, okay, score some buckets for us. Next transaction I've got here is the Celtics signing Vincent Poirier. 2 years on the minimum, the league minimum. Here's a quote from the guy. "I won't sign a contract to sit the bench." Love it. Love that attitude. This guy was on the French national team. He looks like a mini Rudy Gobert. And if that's his specialty and he can lock down what he does really well for the Celtics, which is play defense, which, as we mentioned, some of the other centers don't play defense on the Celtics, this guy's going to find minutes easily under Brad Stevens. Rudy Gobert is arguably the best defender in the league, and if Vincent Poirier can be 70% of him, whew, great signing. I'd love to see him do well, and I'd love to see him do well in the future. I gave that signing, a grade of a B. Really high upside. Not much downside. It's a minimum contract. Next transactions we've got for the Celtics are through the draft. At number 14, they picked up Romeo Langford. I gave that grade a C-. He struggled in the summer league, but It's because he's been battling some injuries. We'll see what he can do come the regular season. Maybe float him in 8 minutes a game, see if he can handle the ball, see if he can just be a shooter, if he play some defense. We'll see. He doesn't need to come in. We've already got a lot of wing depth. At number 22, the Celtics picked up Grant Williams. Gave this grade a B. He's a great energy guy, and reports have had him over-communicating in the summer league instead of not communicating at all. Teammates were actually pretty annoyed with how much talking he does on the defensive side of the ball, so that's a luxury problem to have for a playoff team like the Celtics. I think he'll fit in well. He'll be somewhat of a smaller four, but who can't shoot, but I think he'll fit the mold of Marcus Smart somewhat. Marcus Smart is 6'4", but he can lock down defenders on any given day. Not saying Grant Williams is half the defender Marcus Smart is, but guys who try in this league tend to do pretty well. At number 33, the Celtics picked up Carson Edwards, who absolutely lit it up in Summer League. He had Curry range on some of his three-pointers, just pulling up from nowhere. Averaged about 8 threes a game in the Summer League. Love it. Shoot your way onto the team, shoot or shoot, and he shot. Gave the draft pick a grade of a B+. I think he'll actually get some minutes. I think him and Brad Wanamaker are going to be fighting for a spot in the bench unit, and I think potentially in the beginning of the season, Edwards might find himself on the bench, but he'll probably play his way into the bench unit by the end of the season. And just to recap, the Celtics lost the following players in the offseason: Kyrie, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, Marcus Morris, Aaron Baines, Gershon Yabusele. Those are some big names there. But Celtics did what they could, maneuvered under the cap, brought in who they think could keep them competitive, and, in everyone's eyes amongst the league, they're the third best team in the East. Will they get the third best record? We don't know. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of young guys still. But we're going to see Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Cantor, Poirier, Robert Williams. We're going to see these guys put together a real good season. Should be fun because they don't have the cloud of Kyrie over them anymore. And they know that, so they know their expectations are going to be a little bit higher. But I think they can step up to the challenge, honestly. Let's wait and see.